Welcome to the fourth edition of aaimba Conversations. I'm very excited to be here today. I've been waiting on this conversation for such a long time. Today we're here with Gabriel Selassie, right?
Nice to meet
But
you.
I forgot your last name.
Chagli.
Chagli. Okay, I never heard of it, so that's why you have to excuse me. Today we are here to talk about his works, of course, to talk about his life, to talk about his personality, of course, his uprising from the day he remembers his first actions on this planet Earth, and of course everything else. So welcome to this edition of aaimba Conversations.
Thank you.
Very excited to be here.
Me too.
And I always ask the same question when I'm talking to somebody about artists, like why? Why you started, why you do art, what's your passion, why you decided to go in this direction?
I don't really think I ever really started art. I think it's like something that's like really there
Yeah,
since you're like a kid, maybe.
yeah,
You start playing around, finding different ideas
yeah,
to always gain joy or just to take yourself out of situations. You
Yeah.
find stuff that makes you happy.
yeah,
And that's already like a little art form for me.
yeah.
Like just occupying your brain with things that make you happy,
Okay.
things that make you rethink stuff,
Hmm.
and things that make you maybe question stuff. Just general stuff. Like dancing is an art form for me already.
Yeah.
Like just having the power to sit alone
Okay.
can be an art form and just reflect
So-
on yourself.
So so it's not something that you consciously decided to go after, but it's something that is more like a natural process for you to experience the world
Yeah.
that you're in, and also to express it. Is it right? Or
Like what people would call these days art, like seeing a picture of me
yeah,
on the canvas.
yeah,
That's something I just started like I started it like 2.5 years ago, 3 years ago.
yeah,
And I also just started it because actually I was in that moment of my life not possible to speak
Okay.
more.
Why?
I was in the phase of like my mom was having a depression, let's say
Yeah.
like this. What I don't call depression, but I had to also learn not to call it depression.
Hmm.
And I was in a relationship at that time, was trying to find a way of expressing myself
Hmm.
by not doing the same things I've always been doing, and
Mm.
also just growing. So I started painting stuff to
Yeah.
make people understand
Okay.
how I feel, and it was also more I started writing
Yeah.
stuff for me not to talk that much anymore,
Okay.
but instead also go inside of me and reflect about the things
Okay.
I'm picturing or talking about.
Okay. So it was somehow a deep state where you were in
Yeah,
when you started to paint,
Yeah.
because you is it what you fear that, I mean, why did you start it anyway? I mean, did you fear that other people need to witness it, what you are feeling, or is it something that you said, okay, I want to express myself through these pieces, so people can relate to me again, or in either way, whether it is having an understanding or
yeah,
a different type.
probably seeking for acceptance.
Okay.
Like everybody, like I think we're all seeking a little bit for acceptance
Yeah.
and to be understood
Yeah.
from people that love us. Like I wasn't really looking for it. It was like it just happened.
Yeah.
It happened because I felt like the people who were around me needed to stay around me and needed to understand why I don't want to talk right now.
Yeah.
Well, why I was also still trying to communicate.
Yeah.
Because in that time I was working as a model and you get all the outside noise hype.
Yeah.
And while in your private life you're taking care of a mother that's depressed and cancer sick. So it's like you're living in two worlds and I don't really like engaging in both of them. I rather have the balance in the middle without losing what I'm doing, but also not losing the way of taking care of family and just looking out for stuff. So it was more of, I'm focused on this right now, and I'm focused on my mom. But I was making good money with modeling, but I didn't want it to work to have time for my mom. So I stopped everything and was just there for the family. And in that time, it's like you find a new way to keep yourself busy, and then you start doing stuff, and it eventually gets good. But I never feel like anything I do is actually good. I just feel like it has helped me. That's like the point of state I go to. How much has it helped me to grow to the next level or the next person? And then I always elevate and find something new to put that thing together again, so that the circle just gets bigger into stuff that you're doing.
Okay, beautiful. So if I have to conclude it or put it in some frame, it's, you're not doing art because you have a message, or you do have a message, but it's not that you're doing it for the other people to really understand, but it is more for you a way to deal with your life, deal with what's happening within you, dealing with what's happening around you.
Like, I think if something is made for someone, it will find to the person that seeks for it. Like, art shouldn't be approached in the first way of, I'm doing this to get this out of it. Like, it should be in the first way of, I'm doing this to get this out of me. And if someone sees it, someone likes it, someone communicates with you about it, then it's beautiful. And I have a lot of communications about my art. Like, the first stuff I started drawing was like the stickman, and everybody was always asking me, what is the stickman? But in times of my mother being sick, I find myself like regularly, if I'm in a good mood and I wake up, I have like a good shoulder balance and everything is straight. But in those times, I started stressing myself, thinking about having a regular job, having a lot of things. I found myself just waking up,
just like that,
having the body like this,
sitting down, like never knowing where you're going, asking yourself if it's the right way or not.
And I started just taking like pictures of people randomly outside when I go out, and then started like watching their shoulders and how they are standing, and seeing that a lot of people go through stuff, and you can see it in their body movements, how people are feeling. And I feel like if the world is more open to stuff like this, we can more see how we are feeling around each other, and also learn to listen more to each other. That's like, I hope people that see it take off stuff like that, and they're like, they just view around them, because I do it to find out how I feel in certain situations like that, so I can relate to situations like that if I see it around me happening, or if I see friends who have lost weight. I never ask like, oh, yo, you have lost weight. Then it's more like, are you good? Are you stressed? That makes me ask questions like that.
Well,
you just
to go deeper,
you just flip the whole table like, oh, have you lost weight? Like, it's just, are you stressed? Because people don't just accept the person looks like, I'm going to the gym every day and like that, but that's also a different fresh. If you go to the gym, you're eating, you see it on the skin and everything, but if people are like, you see the skin is not good and the shoulders are hanging, then it's obviously something going on. We have like so much outside in our world, what we say is our world, that everything gets to the point where it can stress people.
Of course.
And like stuff like this makes me find a balanced way of healing myself, probably.
Okay, beautiful. So let's get back to your uprising, where you start. I mean, where was you born?
I was born in Accra, Ghana.
Accra, Ghana.
Okay. My mother told me I was born in Madrid.
Really?
My passport tells me I'm born in Accra, Ghana. So
how that? I mean, who's right?
I have to discuss that one again with my parents.
Okay.
But they tried to switch on my passport also. I don't know.
So So which one are we gonna go for?
We go with Ghana
with
because
Ghana,
most of our memories are definitely Ghana. Yeah.
So tell us something about the first memory you have about your life and where it was, of course.
I can go way back. Like first memories I have was living in my dad's house. That's in Abilingbe, Accra.
Yeah.
It's a big white house, and my grandma used to live there. She used to make like statues.
Yeah.
As my dad's mom, she makes statues, paints.
Yeah. And takes. So she was an artist too, or
I didn't know that at that time.
Yeah. Like,
yeah. So at that time also I was like always like scared of her. Maybe it was just like
you were scared of her.
Yeah, like she always like used to be strict when I was small. But it's like it's a form of love. Yeah, it's a form of love.
They just want to prepare.
Yeah, my dad was always like nurturing me because I was his firstborn.
Okay.
So it's like I was everybody's favorite, and she wanted to show me like the strict side. And my mom's mom lives in Dansoman, Accra, and I lived most of my lifetime in Ghana with her.
Okay.
And she taught me a lot. Not always about art, but always the way of feeling free to do what you want to do.
Okay.
I remember her having like a round living room and a bedroom.
Really?
And those are stuff I notice now that inspire me to have like round surroundings around, because if you're a kid and you're in a round space and you're allowed to think free and always like something that's round around you, have like always circulated thoughts. And here in Germany, I always feel like the world is already stopping your thoughts. So you have to always have to go out in nature and stuff like that. And in Ghana, everything was like just around you.
Yeah.
And I was always like also the guy that would run out in nature, even as a small kid. I'll hang out. Grandma's gonna look at how she, you know.
so she's the most influential person in your life. What would you say? I mean, at the beginning,
of the beginning of my life, definitely, because my parents were divorced when I was like 2 years old.
Okay.
And I stayed at my dad's house till like 4, and then moved to my grandma's house. And my dad went to Boston, and my mom went to Germany.
Yeah.
Because her big brother was living here, so I spent the childhood with grandparents. My mom's dad, my mom's mom, my mom's dad and my mom's mom were also divorced, but I could spend like always time with them, and also spend sometimes times at my dad's mom's place.
Okay.
So it's like you get all the influence from the old people, and you learn.
I mean,
you're forced to learn to listen.
Yeah. They say it takes a village to raise a child.
Right?
So, and that's how we handle it in Africa anyway. I mean, you don't. Until I was like, until I came to Germany, I never noticed that there is a word in Akan for auntie. Like I never noticed that because I was calling all my aunties mom. Because and they forced me to call them mom because they are raising me too, and they are all part in my uprising. So I find that beautiful.
Yes.
So I came here to Germany and I noticed, this is my auntie and this is my mom actually, and blah blah, and sometimes blah blah. It was some kind of crazy and also difficult, but okay, we took it and that's good. So can you picture us your way from Ghana to somehow now, or?
I moved from Ghana to Boston when I was 13.
Okay.
Stayed a year in Boston, started playing basketball. Then I went from Boston back to Ghana because I never really I felt a lot different and I didn't know how to handle it at that age.
Okay.
But I can communicate and tell you I don't feel good here. I want to go back
to
a place. Maybe it was also I felt like I needed my mom more than my dad at that time.
Okay.
Because I was always around grandma. I needed the female
side of
the female energy. So I went back to Ghana, and then from there my mom came on holidays. I think it was Christmas, and I was like, I'm coming with you. And then from there everything actually went really fast. I remember like the first time coming from Ghana to Germany was snow. I hated it. I hated it. I knew snow from Germany, from Boston, but it was like, it was different. It was a different code. Everything was so different. Like, and the place we lived in, Kiel, it's also a tough spot. It's called Mettenhof. It's a tough spot, but all the tough spots have like heart. That's also you learn how to.
There's a lot of passion.
You learn how to grow and
commitment.
Commit yourself to different stuff. But you also don't have like an artist education in places like that. So it's like I would say my mom like did a good job in balancing that the area out and also making me feel like you can do everything, but also notice what is around you, protect yourself and stuff like that. There's a lot of trouble in small cities around Germany.
Beautiful. Nice. So it was like you moved from Ghana, Accra, to Boston. And you stayed just for a year in Boston, played basketball over there. But at the age of 14, you realized this is not a place for me.
No.
This is not a place I want to be, or not a place where I want to stay.
Maybe it was a private decision because of a father issue or something, but it was just not my energy, let's say it like that.
Because I find it quite interesting because in our culture, I mean, I'm a Ghanaian too. So in our culture, it's like you don't say nothing against what your parents tell you. Right? You do what your parents tell you to do, and you don't try to argue with them in any kind of way. So I find it quite interesting when you say, okay, your parents brought you to America. I mean, it's somehow also every kid's dream, like to be in abroad or not to be in Africa somehow. I find it quite interesting that you say, okay, I cannot live here, I want to go back. So what was the trigger?
I think it's the communication with friends more.
Okay.
Like, and I feel like in the Western society, the communication around friends is not that really deep. Like, if you are raised in Ghana, you have like friends as family. Like you see them every day, you go to church with them on Sundays. Do most of everything together, so you always have like these friends around you, and being in a new space where you feel like you're forced to get friendships where it's actually not that connected than the way you had it already. You are just looking around, trying to find where you fit in and stuff like that. And I don't feel like I want to fit in anywhere. I just want to fit in
within yourself.
Yeah, like it's better like that than just. I'm cool with a lot of things and a lot of people, but most is not. It has to connect and fit, and it's also like my grandparents raised me. So you also have like a grandparent's voice. Somewhere here.
You are always that somehow grown.
And you have like, and you have African history books. If you are raised with grandparents, and you see new history books if you move to somewhere else. This is not what I learned. Like, it just doesn't get along that good. I don't know.
Oh, nice, beautiful. So the next thing I would like to talk with you about is the here and now, the current situation that we are currently in. I mean, it started with Corona, and it now led to the killing of George Floyd and the Black Lives Matter movement. So I never know where to start on this conversation. So I'm gonna ask you just start from January 2020 to now. What was your experience, and how would you sort it, or how would you react to it? And what's your opinion?
Now, from the whole year, like if it's about the whole year, I feel like it's a year of just facing yourself and facing what type of information you get. And because a lot in our world is already like controlled. It's a controlled system. So the only thing we have like freedom to control is what we feed ourselves. Food, knowledge, everything. Media, everything.
Yeah. Friends.
Yeah, friends. So. And I've not watched TV in 15 years. The only thing I have is Instagram and Twitter.
Yeah.
And sometimes YouTube. Everything I want to research is based around stuff I'm seeing right now. And then I'll just go on the Google and I'll just break it all down for myself.
Yeah.
And what should I say? Like, it's always something new that pulls us away from what is going on. I don't feel like we are always really forced to stay present. We are always like
forced to drift around.
Being pulled to drift around. Like, to see a black man die like that is obviously like something that gets back. Something that's from the past. Like I just said, I know my history books from Ghana and I know my history books from Germany. So you always have like a picture of someone that's oppressing you. So, and let's go back also to Metten or Kiel. If you live in Kiel, 2001, 2002, there are a lot of neo-Nazis in Kiel.
Okay.
So me living there, you're forced to engage stuff like that in a very young age. And sometimes you're forced to fight.
Yeah.
And if you're someone who, I'm good with the words, but I'm also good with protecting myself and protecting people who's around me. So I learned really fast to engage stuff like this in the world, basically. Like, some stuff look like it's so staged for me. If I look at George Floyd's video, because I didn't dare to look at it because I know these pictures. 500 years, then I'm 32 years on the planet. 32 years, I know pictures like that already. So I know the emotional effect on me. So I just put myself out and try to observe how to change my next current situation into bringing something stronger to the world, so that it's a progress work. I don't feel like stuff like that can be controlled right now from the outside. We have to control it for centuries. We have to. It has to feel like a chess game and an inside job. People have to levitate everybody that's around them to a level where they understand and listen. So that stuff like that, it can't happen no more. And that's the problem. It will happen. That's the sad problem. But also, it's not allowed to happen anymore until this 9 minutes of a video, someone recording a video. And I know the story of Jesus since I'm a kid, and Jesus gave his life to save us as brothers. And I'm a radical person too. So I always think like we should radically be ready to give ourselves to each other, because that's something really hard to say in a society like that. But so we don't have that understanding for love and appreciation and everything for each other, where we like stand like this, everybody in front of each other, stuff like this will sadly happen. And also too, we don't have the mind to go deeper into researches and not just this 9 minutes of a video and 9 minutes someone is standing the same position. So that's someone clearly showing me a picture. For me, I'll not talk for other people, but for me, someone clearly showing me.
I mean, in general, it's really hard to stay 9 minutes on a chair and not move. It's hard. It's hard to sit on a chair for 9 minutes and not move at all. You know, that's what I was. But continue.
It's just a year. It's just a year. Everything puts like a blanket on something that happens like last week, and I feel like we have to also open our eyes for the controlled systems, like stuff that coming from a higher place or a bigger place, and understand what type of people we are. Actually on this planet, how much energy we could have. Because if someone tells me I can use 7% of my brain, that doesn't mean I have to believe that person. That's his opinion. So it's like it's time we got deeper into researching other stuff so that we just elevate ourselves so that people don't bully us like that. Because I've been bullied. Like I said, 2001, I know the position, but we have to be at the point where you just stand up in front of the person. So I like everything that's going on, but there's also stuff I see and I question because I like words. I like going deeper into materials and trying to break them down to see where this comes from. And like, the Greek god of confusing is called media. MEDEA. And we are all on our media programming, and now we have the chance to even control some of the feed that's coming on the news. And we have to like find ways to control it consciously without.
But still, it's not in our control because it's not ours. You know, we have to always think of it's not ours. We have to create ours. We have to create something that's ours. And okay. It's tough to do. I know, and I know a lot of people are busy.
People are working.
I know a lot of people are working, but also a lot of people are just not doing what's necessary, maybe, to really make progress. But still, let's stop on this point because we are going to switch to the second episode of this conversation. We're going to talk about your art.
Yeah, man.
And the things that you produce as an artist. The paintings that you have, of course, this one in the back. And also there's a nice painting on the rooftop. We're going to have a look at it. And he's going to explain it.
Not done.
Not done, but you have to see it. So stay tuned to the second edition or the second part of this conversation. So see you soon. Okay. So here we go to it's the second edition right now of this conversation with Gabriel Selassie. He's the jokes man too. He's got a lot of talents. He's a multidisciplinary artist. I forgot to say that he's doing dance, he's doing music, he paints, and he's also writing poems. So as we are focused on paintings, we are going to talk mostly about his paintings. And later on, he said, actually, he was going to give us a poem about this piece, actually. So we're going to jump in. or maybe not, I don't know. We're going to jump in right away. So tell us something about this piece here that we see. What's the name of it, first of all?
I call it Sophia Fatoulassi.
Sophia Fatoulassi.
It's a mix. It's a mix out of two friends' names and my name.
Yeah.
And on the day I painted, we just started painting randomly, and we were all having a canvas, and we started having a conversation about the jail system in America, and we were just painting. And sideways, I was doing researches on the laptop, just finding out numbers, how many people are actually in jail right now, which are colored, and how would this face look like behind a bar. So I actually just brought the face in front of the bar instead of keeping it without behind the bar, because like since the 1850s, there are just numbers are just going up of black people who are being brought into private jails in America. And the 13th commandment in the US, it tells you if you have been arrested before you lose your freedom in America. So most of the people in America who get caught because of small delicts have actually lost a bit of their freedom and don't have the freedom to be around anymore, to travel around anymore. I used to do like dance workshops, and used to get like dancers from America and stuff like that. And a lot of them would tell me, my mom had this problem, so we have like something registered in our list, and we can come to Europe.
So it's for the whole family.
It's sometimes it goes
when a person does it, it's for the whole family.
Sometimes it gets to the point where it hits the whole family. With the system, and you get just trouble. And this is the way I would picture the face of the American jail system, without really thinking of it, but just having it in my heart, and also always picturing a woman, because women have then more cries than us men if it comes to troubles like that. Yeah, I could be talking to you about it the whole day. I can explain to you what is the stripe, what the blue means.
Blue. Let's start with that.
Yeah, blue is always like everything I do that's blue on my paintings has to do with a chakra.
Chakra? Okay.
And the chakra, the blue chakra is for speaking.
Yeah.
So every painting I have with something blue on it has mostly a political topic, because it has to have something to stay. Red is most of the time for the blood and the pain that I see and stuff, and I always try to take red, black, and blue. I could experiment with a lot of stuff, but I also like the American flag and how much not freedom is actually inside. Yeah. And that's what is mostly about in this painting.
So this painting is quite an abstract
form of the face of the American political judge system.
Okay, so what was your thoughts when you were starting out to make the face? I mean, of course I understand it, but because the judge system is quite diffuse, or actually it's quite accurate in the state. So what was the conscious decision for you to say, okay, I'm gonna make it somehow abstract, and I'm gonna make the face look like it's
the feeling you get. The feeling you get if you get pushed against a wall.
Yeah.
The feeling you get if you get pushed against the ground.
Yeah.
Like the type of emotion you picture if you could see, like if you could actually be under the ground and see someone getting pushed on the glass from upstairs, like with their pressure and their pain. It's like something I just tried to picture in my way.
So it's also that kind of police brutality that you see on the streets, something like, for example, George Floyd or anything other.
Yeah, that was even before George Floyd.
Yeah.
This painting was before George Floyd.
Okay.
Because it happens a lot.
Yeah, of course.
It happens a lot. There are more colored prisoners than slaves in 1850. There are more private people who own jails in America than actually city jails. There are more colored people in jails working for company we give our attention to in the outside.
Yeah.
So that's also stuff we have to think of a lot.
Okay. So what was your experience when you were in the US? Have you experienced some such things like that? I mean, police brutality? Not only on yourself, but also on friends and maybe somebody around you that you knew.
Me, honestly, not in the US.
Okay.
I had this experience with my little brother where I went to surprise my dad like 2 years ago because I haven't seen him for some time, and we branched into a street.
Yeah.
And we made a U-turn after 2 minutes. After 2 minutes coming out of the street, we saw a car who was full of gun holes.
Oh.
Just actually really 2 minutes.
Really?
Full with gun holes, and the police was there. Someone was in the car.
Yeah.
I don't know the behind story of it, but something that I've seen in life is like stuff like that.
Okay.
I've never like seen someone being pulled over in America live in front of my eyes. Thank God. Probably that would have changed a lot.
Okay.
Or would have also never know what happens.
Yeah.
That would have definitely had a different effect on me. Like you have that in Europe too. Like I've been stopped by police and been chased by people before, but I think America is also the practice it. I feel like America is like a movie everybody looks at.
Yeah.
Like everything that gets cool in America becomes cool
somewhere else.
Another place. So everything that happens that has to be shown like this always happened in America in a way like this, and everybody adapts around it. And America is also based based on the system of Europe.
Yeah.
So we also have to understand where all that mentality comes from and where the practice goes to, and what we are taking actually away from Africa.
Of course, we do. So, I mean, I said it in the beginning. You are quite a multidisciplinary artist.
Mm-hmm.
So, how does it affect you as an artist? I mean, you paint and then you take some ideas to your music, some ideas to your poems, some ideas to your dancing skills. I mean, how do you practice it? How does it evolve? How does it come together? And how does it mix?
I think everything started with playing basketball.
Yeah. Okay.
And then I had like
the sound of the
I had like an injury when I was playing basketball, and I wasn't allowed to do sports like for 1.5 years on my knee.
Yeah.
And then I went randomly to a club and saw people dancing with a circle.
Yeah.
I jumped in. And from the guys I met there, I went with them to a dance studio, and then everything evolved from there. Like you keep to the rhythms, when you have dancing around you, and then painting comes into it. And I always also felt like everything I'm learning is always just to make the circle bigger. So sometimes I'll make a song about a topic like this, and then I'll use the painting as the cover for it. Or I also have like videos coming up where it's like a fully animation of the stickman.
Yeah.
And the stickman is, like I explained, something I use to correct my body adjustments and stuff like that. So it's like a real human.
The stickman is the point, I assume, where almost everything started.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
The creative process. Yeah. So tell I mean, I know the story, but tell our audience what the stickman means to you, where it started, and of course where it took you.
Yeah, the stickman, it just means what a pure human should be.
Okay.
For me, it comes out of pain, but it means more of just seeing me just by the bone structure and my soul.
Yeah.
So the original stickman has an 8 inside here for infinity, and these are the bone structures, and these are all the conjunctions to the body, like where you move and different stuff. So if I'm not feeling good, I mostly see my shoulders, and I stand most of the time like this. So if you see me and most of the time I stand like this, you know I'm in a super good mood.
Okay.
It just transforms everything, makes me evolve.
Yeah.
And every time I do something new, there's something new that also comes onto the stickman in the painting. Okay. So it also grows with me into different universes, like to come into music and to go back into painting. Yeah. Then we use it as an animation for a dance video and just stuff like that. Just watching people and programming people, like programming yourself in a good way, taking society by seeing yourself just as a bone structure and a soul, or as a light beam. Like,
so you told me that you are working on a piece on the rooftop. Right here.
Yeah.
And you need to put the stickman on it. So we're gonna experience it today. So we're gonna make another cut. It's still the second. It will stay the second edition of this conversation. But we're gonna move to the rooftop, and then we're gonna show you a beautiful piece. I mean, you're gonna love it, I guess. I mean, I love it. And we're gonna see how it works and how he, of course, used his stickman into this. He transforms his tattoo onto this canvas board. Onto the canvas. So we're gonna have a look at it. See you. Wow.
ladies and gentlemen, this is the piece that I was talking about. So I don't know where to start. So tell us what is this?
I started this last week.
Yeah.
I just got like a passion for painting carpets.
Carpets, yeah.
So it's like, I think a half year now. I painted like 9 carpets.
9?
Yeah.
Okay.
When I heard the story, or saw the story of George,
yeah,
I decided to paint a new American flag.
Okay.
After stick to it, because I feel like what is missing for some people is also the unity.
Yeah.
So, like, the only things I wrote with this carpet was like, freedom is unity.
Yeah.
Unity is like a key.
Okay.
And a key is always what we seek, but what we seek is always within. So unity also just works.
Can you say that again? I mean, I understood it, but I need to emphasize what you just said. Just
so,
that.
Yeah, freedom is unity.
Freedom is unity.
Unity is what we seek.
Unity is what we seek.
What we seek is like a key.
What we seek is like a key.
And the key we are seeking for is within.
And the key we are seeking for is within.
Yeah.
Wow.
So it's like,
I feel like, wow.
Take the circle.
Yeah.
In America only works if we also understand that we are complete, not just in America, like the whole world.
Yeah.
It only works well if we understand that we are a complete unity.
Yeah.
That everybody has to start working their unity as one within themselves.
Yeah.
So that it brings a bigger unity of freedom together. Because if you don't have your own freedom from the inside, it's really hard to fight for someone else.
Okay. Yeah.
That's what I'm seeking for with this project for me, so that I know how to engage to help other people who are feeling the same way. I probably just feel it the last day.
Okay. Yeah. So you mentioned downstairs that you mentioned that you're predominantly using black, red, and also sometimes blue.
Yeah.
And
there's no blue on this one.
Yeah, there's no blue on this one. Why?
America doesn't deserve it right now. Like America is not really.
What was the meaning for blue again?
For the throat chakra.
Okay, the throat chakra. Okay.
This carpet is also gonna get burned.
It's gonna get burned.
Yeah, it's not gonna burn down.
Yeah.
Completely.
Yeah.
But it's gonna get burned to the point where you can see a visual of it and have the message of it.
Okay.
Without seeing the carpet in real life or without engaging with the carpet. So I think the throat chakra is also in there without having the color by having the visual and the speaking point. So if it's right, make the colors perfect, and then we hope to bring it to a stage where it shows people what is going on or makes people feel how I'm feeling about what's going on.
Yeah.
So that we have some type of community.
Wow. I mean, I don't know where to start because you're giving me ideas that I picture in my head. I mean, you're giving me the steps that you are going to take, and I'm flashed somehow, like about the ideas that you have, and the way you wanna create, the way you wanna express, and the way you wanna actually move your way through anything. So, I mean, it's the first time now, really, that I'm talking to an artist that I'm excited to see what's coming next. I mean, I have a lot of notion of what you're trying to do and what you're trying to express, but there's also many questions around it too. So it's like, okay, he wants to move this way, he wants to move that way, but on the other side, you're a free person in some way.
I also feel like it's also for me. I have also a lot of questions.
Yeah.
Coming up and the things.
Yeah.
I'm gonna do.
Yeah.
But first steps, first approach.
Yeah.
Always answers my questions. So
okay.
Like, I have never worried to answer questions for people.
Yeah.
But I I'm always worried about how I answer the questions for myself first before I approach different questions. So I'd rather get the right answer for myself first so that I can engage in a pure way or a balance reflective. Because like this carpet is like, I was 3 days on the knee to paint it. It's like you have to be on the floor, you're on your knee, and then you have like this symbolism of painting something that has another color into something that's completely black about the situation that's already going on. So you have like this type of communication with yourself while you're on your knee and painting this. You ask yourself, why am I on my knee? Why is somebody on this knee in America? Where does this thoughts come from now? Then it just goes from there. You learn more, you go into the topic, you research about the topic, so you're getting your information while you're actually healing yourself. Stuff like that from the media. Like I rather engage stuff like that so I feel like I'm growing instead of making stuff perfect. I don't know, I've never done anything perfect anyway. Because I rather just go with the emotions, with the flows, and also flows.
Of course. Sometimes I think they are the most important.
Very.
I mean, your losses are really more important than your wins, and you have to be unafraid enough or fearless enough to really seek for them, right? To go for it and just try out. That's what you do.
Someone said you cannot find true freedom if you're not ready to show your ugliness.
That's right. But
I think that's really perfect.
What I'm questioning myself is your process in a whole. I mean, do you imagine your pieces first? I mean, you say, okay, I have this in mind, I want to do that, and is the end product going to be, or the end creation, is it going to be exact what you've imagined in the beginning, or is it going to change or evolve within the process?
Depends what type of art you are doing right now. And it also depends what's going on in the world. Like sometimes you start a topic because boom, everything in the world is happening in a fast pace, and then you're into the topic, the alignment of the world. Sometimes you just do stuff for yourself to find out stuff like the. Then we go back to the stickman again. I'm also gonna make statues with the stickman. So I already know how they are gonna be, which material we are gonna use and everything. So I know how that product looks already at the end, but stuff like this carpets and paintings always like emotions comes up, and then you just go into it and go with the topic, and then so I think the first thing is mostly always the topic, just to have the emotion and the topic, then you just go from there. It's just a free work, so it's like nobody should really stress themselves to be perfect. It's cool not to be perfect, guys.
Perfect. That's the perfect ending right now. So I want to thank you again for watching this episode with Selassie, Gabriel Selassie.
Thank you.
Wow, it was like mind-blowing. And of course, it's an actual event, so I would like to end this conversation with a kneeling of us two in respect of George Floyd.
Wait, then I have a poem then if I'm kneeling.
Okay, you have a poem.
Yeah.
I told you he's gonna do a poem.
It's not about this, but I have a poem if it's about kneeling. Let's go.
Let's go.
And let me just go. I can breathe. Yes, I can breathe. But you wouldn't listen. You wouldn't even let me speak. You feel like yours is more important than mine. I hope it's not the picture that you see. I never seek greed, but equality indeed. You seem to be scared of my feelings. I know you were taught not to chill, understand, not dream. You watch history, it repeats. It's funny. To the words you never listen to. You know my story, you know my dance, you know my rhythms, but it's funny. To the words you really never listen to. I don't blame you, but I hope you get to the point where you can blame yourself. We have built a system you live in, but the secret ingredient you gave it was distance.
Thank you. Bye.
Thank you. Have a good day.